Hi, I'm Richard Noble, and I'm coming to you from Palm Springs, California. I am asking for contributions to go to Georgia to lay a beautiful wreath at the resting place of the late Congressman John Lewis, our friend and civil rights hero. In 2011 and 2012, I did walk the rainbow flag across the United States. And I did go to the White House at the invite of the president's staff. At that time, it was President Obama. After that, I spent time with Congressman John Lewis in his office. I was standing there looking at a painting that was done. And the congressman walked in with his smile and glowing, and he said, "Well, that was when I used to preach to the chickens when I was a kid." And it just sort of like, oh, okay. So that's how he became a great public speaker. I said, so nice to meet you. You're like one of my great heroes." And he goes, "I'm no hero." He in that very serious, "I'm no hero. And I'm an activist, just like you are. We're all just activists, trying to make the world a better place." And we sat down and we talked about love and nonviolence and King and Kennedy and his time at the White House we spoke about the 1964 Civil Rights Act. And I said, I walked across the United States so that we could add sexual orientation and gender identity to the articles of the Civil Rights Act, the titles of the Civil Rights Act, and some other things to protect women in pregnancy and some more of their rights. And it was just a really nice conversation. I spent about 20 minutes with him before I left him. And he just left this impression of his smile, his love, his straightforwardness, his sense of justice and decency and what is right. And I know that he was beaten by white police on the bridge in Selma, and worked closely with Dr. King and Bayard Rustin, fighting for just to be treated equally and to in employment and housing and credit and in all areas of life, to just be loved and looked at as an equal and treated as an equal. So I understood his sense of justice, as I have had moments where I didn't really have a lot of hope of moving on in my own life, as I couldn't get married and I wasn't able to join the military and serve our country. And it was painstaking and a struggle to grow up in the United States as a openly gay man, and I was out and open as a kid and have always been that way. So I have a constitution here, and that's signed by John Lewis right here, and signed by a bunch of other really awesome people, but the congressman signed that for me, so it is a dear keepsake for sure. So I hope that you will lay aside any criticism you might have of me. It's a small amount of money. I am happy to get on a plane and fly to Georgia and lay a wreath at the congressman's resting site, taking all health precautions necessary to keep myself safe. And I am going to post this on YouTube. Normally I will just post a photograph, but the passing of this beautiful man and congressman and civil rights hero, brother activist, requires a little bit more from me than just putting up a photo. My heartfelt condolences goes out to the House and to the Senate and to people throughout history that have followed and have loved and been a friend of this great man's life, and to all of his friends and family. Our love is with you, and our thoughts are with you, and we are here to make sure that this wonderful, loving human being's legacy is properly written, with all of us in mind, because he had all of us in mind. A gay, straight, black, woman, young, old, disabled, non-disabled, you name it. And John Lewis saw human beings as human beings and all of us equal. and he fought for that every moment of his life. And I honor him, and I love him, and I will miss him. I'm just going to miss a great man like that. It's just he's an institution all by himself. And without his leadership and voice, I'm not sure where we're going to go. But I know there are a lot of great people in Congress and in the Senate and in state legislators and local community leaders and mayors around the country that have hearts of gold and aren't afraid to rattle the cage and to create trouble where trouble needs to be created because of the injustices that are being done. So let's march forward, let's march on, and I look forward to taking photographs and some videos and publishing them in our local newspaper here. Hopefully they'll accept my submissions, and I'll do an opinion editorial piece on my small experiences, but great experiences, with the late friend and Congressman John Lewis. So thank you for donating, and I look forward to carrying your well wishes and love to the East Coast and the South for everyone. So thank you, and God bless.